The only reason we got the local legislation rule, it was a courtesy. And here we are, as you're right, we're getting ready to go down the fork of a road here. The fork of the road is we're going to open wide open. Any local delegation can propose legislation. Let me tell you what my real concern is, Senator. I think we got a constitutional problem here. I think we're going to wind up being sued because we're allowing one county to do something the other county don't have the ability to do until they get this legislation.
Senator, let me respond to that. I have had this thoroughly researched by Senate Research. The Constitution prohibits special legislation for a county or a city. It does not prohibit special legislation for a school district. In fact, when I was a senator previously, I got at least a half dozen bills affecting a school district passed as special legislation. So there is no constitutional problems with regard to a school district special legislation.
Senator, you're a pretty good attorney, but we got some sharp attorneys out there who will find a loophole. I can assure you that. This state will be sued if we pass this legislation. You got people in your county, I bet you, that oppose the impact fees being set by the school board. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Senator, there's people that are opposed to anything we propose here. But I'm telling you, the majority of my constituents in Dorchester District 2 want this. That's what our elections proved. And that's my judgment as a local senator, and I might add the other 2 senators from Dorchester County. So are we going to reject a local piece of legislation because we personally don't like it, or are we going to let it go because it only affects them?
No, Senator. It's not that we don't like it. We're fearful of what will happen to our districts. It's not that we don't like it. But I can assure you, if we pass this, we'll have a domino effect. We'll have a string of people behind you that's seeking the very same thing you're seeking.
Well, Senator, if they do that for that district, that should be their prerogative. If you don't like it in your district, you should not do it in your prerogative. But I'll tell you what I'm fearful of. I'm fearful of the most at going to the Senate Finance Committee, because I know, based on past precedent, it would not be examined. There would be no subcommittee. There would be no committee.
Sure, I will commit to you it will go to subcommittee. I'll commit to you it'll go into subcommittee.
Senator, do you have any reason not to oppose something that gives information? I mean, 234 has to do with information. All it does is require my school district to give periodic reports to towns and counties in writing about the status of their school.
Senator, I really think both of those ought to travel together. You know, if you get it in finance, get it in subcommittee, and I'll assure you to put both in subcommittee and see what comes out of that subcommittee. Then, you know, without the second one, 235, 234 is supposedly meaningless, right?
No, absolutely not.
No?
234 can be totally independent of 235.
But what's that going to do other than tell the people we find this is what ought to be? Isn't that what that's for, 234?
No, Senator, 234 requires a series of facts, FACTS, about the school district to be provided to town and county councils before they vote on development projects. Now, it's not being provided now, or I wouldn't put the bill in. So it establishes a structure, a procedure, a routine. Once a year, there's an annual report. We're going to ask the town and county councils, if you get a project above a certain size, 25 acres, that development agreement could be for, would you send it over to us to let us look at it? Just like you're wanting to look at it. Would you let us look at it? And then we'll, within 30 days, tell you what we think the impact on schools. Now, how can we possibly be against Dorchester District 2 providing that information?
Senator, I'll ask you again, if I commit to you, it'll go to subcommittee, will you send both bills over there?
Respectfully, sir, no.
Okay.
I told him to please do that.
And I say that because there's no reason to send this information bill to a committee. It is local legislation. If we're not going to pass local legislation, then we're going to find a reason that everybody else is.
Senator from Charleston.
Mr. President,
can I interrupt just for a second? We got a couple folks that need to do introductions. This is carrying on longer than I thought it would. With you retaining the podium, Senator from Abbeville, accompanied by Senator from Greenwood.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. We're delighted today to have one of our premier doctors from Greenwood down here, Dr. Greg Tarasitas, who is also the chairman of the board of the South Carolina Medical Association. Greg and his practice does a wonderful job for us in Greenwood, and we'd like to welcome him to the South Carolina Senate. Thank you so much, Greg.
Doctor, thank you for your service. We appreciate you being down here with us today. Senator from Dorchester is recognized.
Can we just stop a minute while they're talking?
Senator from Ori, would you yield for a question,
Would
Senator?
the senator yield?
Yes, sir.
Senator from Dorchester, you stated that the information would be delivered on development up to 25 acres.
No, above 25
Above
acres.
25 acres. Well, up to 25 acres, you certainly are aware that you can put up to 250 units, 10 per acre, or you can put one on each 5 acres.
Right.
So you have a range from 5 to 250 units, more or less on the up to the 25 acres. So you have a broad range of that door opening there. When you go above that, of course, it's a different story. You're talking about bills 234 and 235 at the podium, is that correct?
Right.
Generally. I think, would you not agree, and I hope you will agree, that the senator from Florence has made a good proposal to you, is to let both of these bills travel together. Let them be assigned to a subcommittee as he's committed to do, and let that committee thrash this out. My concern, Senator, living in a fast-growing county as well, that the timing is horrible to authorize expenditure of any new funds, whether you call it a fee or whether you call it taxes. We need to try to ride this storm out, Senator. Would you not agree?
Right.
And would you not agree that adding on fees and taxes and giving that opportunity to someone else where there's none now is not probably the way to go? And we are, would you not agree, at that fork, at the crossroads that you referenced a few moments ago?
Senator, this bill doesn't impose an impact fee. It gives authority to a school district to do what that school district sees fit within the parameters stated in the bill. And unfortunately, in my county, the students aren't stopping, and the demands on the schools are not stopping. They're increasing. So we at least got to give them the tools to handle that. Now, Senator, I don't mind carrying over the impact fee bill, but I do mind carrying over the information bill. You could not have anything more vanilla flavored than providing information. How could anybody be against information?
Senator, again, is my suggestion, with the commitment of the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, that these two bills travel together, and let you appear at those subcommittee hearings and make your point there so that all the stones can be looked under, all the facts and details uncovered, so that when we come out of this thing, we'll have something meaningful and possibly fair from this initial entry that will be good or bad for the rest of the state, and that subcommittee can sort that out.
I've got agreement from them, but they'll let your information bill go. Just carrying this other
That's
bill
all I want.
for a little while and let them
I'll
look
sit
at it,
down
and
if we
let
do
us
that.
look at the consequences.
All right. All right. Senator from Ori, I say this respectfully, very respectfully, as respectfully as I can. I've been around here long enough to know what will happen if this goes to the Finance Committee. It might go to a subcommittee, but it's not. That impact fee bill has been there 3 years for Dorchester County, and I know already the chairman who controls it is opposed to impact fees, period. So I'd be a fool to volunteer to do that. So if you override me and you outvote me, fine. But when I make the motion again, we pass third reading 234, the information bill only. Well, I got Senator Cleary.
Senator from Georgetown.